This first video comes from the YouTube channel Creepy Outdoors, where the creator documents solo camping trips in isolated, rarely visited locations, places most people avoid after dark, but he deliberately seeks out. And in this video, he ventures deep into a forest that immediately felt wrong after night fell. From the moment he enters, the environment tells its own story. The trees are dead. Not a few, almost all of them. Trunks snapped, uprooted, collapsing under their own weight. Thick spider webs stretch between branches, untouched. The forest is silent in a way that feels unnatural, as if life has slowly retreated and never returned. The darkness is complete. No moonlight, no ambient glow, just pitch black. He talks about how, in conditions like this, if you were truly lost, your only option might be to lean against a tree and wait for morning. There's no sense of direction, no landmarks, just endless shadows. Still, he keeps moving. The deeper he walks, the more disoriented he becomes. Dead trees block the trail. Massive trunks lie half-fallen, creaking as they slowly give in to gravity. He mentions how lonely the place feels, how easy it would be to imagine being lost here forever. At one point, he even compares the atmosphere to the Blair Witch Project. It's said half-jokingly, but the comparison lingers, and then everything changes.
Man, this place is so lonely. Imagine just being lost out here. It feels like this would never end. Oh, fuck. Oh, hi. What the hell? I need to get out of here. Oh, boy. Oh. Okay.
Without warning, he hears it. A voice, not the wind. Not something distant or indistinct. A clear, human-like sound coming from the darkness ahead. His reaction is instant. His tone shifts. He stops, swears. Panic cuts through his calm narration.
That was fucking creepy. I need to get out of here. Whew. Okay. It could have been campers, but this area is extremely secluded. I need to get back to camp.
He tries to rationalize it, maybe other campers, but even he doesn't sound convinced. The area is far from roads, far from other people. Later, he describes it more clearly. The creepiest voice he could imagine. Exactly how a witch might sound. What makes the moment worse isn't just the sound. It's what it does to him afterward. His sense of direction collapses. He becomes disoriented. Trails no longer look familiar. Every step feels wrong. He admits the voice completely threw him off. For the first time, he's not sure where camp is. The forest closes in.
That must be a deer stand. At least I think. It's pretty damn old. I know I sound like a broken record right now, but damn it. I need to find camp. I'm sorry guys, that voice absolutely threw me off and my sense of direction. I hope you don't blame me for getting the fuck out of there.
The dead trees continue, relentless and silent. He starts apologizing to viewers, explaining why he needs to leave, why he can't continue exploring. Fear has taken over logic, but finally, after several tense minutes of searching, he sees it. The glow of his fire. Relief hits instantly. Back at camp, he tries to calm down, opens a drink, thanks the audience, but the tension doesn't fully leave. Because even though he made it back safely, one question remains unanswered. What was that voice? A person in a place no one should be? A sound distorted by the forest and fear? Or something else entirely? Something that didn't want him there? Whatever it was, it turned a quiet solo camping trip into one of the most unsettling nights he's ever experienced. And sometimes, that's all it takes. One sound, in the wrong place, at the wrong time. And that takes us to this next clip that left anyone who has seen it with many unanswered questions too. Quick interruption. If you're enjoying this video, why not hit that subscribe button? We're on a mission to hit 500,000 subscribers, and when we do, 3 lucky fans will win a limited edition CreepyVids hoodie or shirt. Right now, 61.4% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. It's completely free, and your support helps us make even more awesome videos. So, don't miss out. Subscribe now, and let's get back to the video. Something strange was spotted in the woods, and it was watching from above. The man filming the clip wasn't looking for anything unusual. He was simply exploring, moving through the trees, when something caught his attention behind him. High up on a rocky ledge, just beyond his line of sight, he noticed movement. Not enough to fully register at first, just a quick glimpse that made him stop and question what he'd seen.
Just keep watching up behind me on that ledge. He was just there. Ah, you see? That was a quick glimpse there. Okay. He's not there. Oh, sorry about that. He was doing a... Oh, there he is. Okay. There.
For a moment, there's nothing. The ledge is still, quiet, easy to dismiss. And then it appears again. Only briefly, but long enough to confirm that something really is there. A small shape peeks out from the rock, then pulls back out of sight. No clear features, no sound, just movement, deliberate and cautious, as if whatever it is knows it's being watched. The uncertainty is what makes the moment unsettling. The figure doesn't rush, it doesn't flee. It simply observes and hides. As the clip spread online, theories quickly flooded the comments. Some viewers believe it could be a duenda, a creature from Filipino folklore, often described as small, elusive, and known for watching humans from hidden places. Duendes are said to live near rocks, trees, and forested areas, appearing only briefly before vanishing again. Others suggested it might be a meerkat-like animal, or even a golem-like figure, pointing to the way it rises just enough to be seen before ducking back down, almost as if standing upright. More skeptical viewers had a simpler explanation: a curious raccoon. Raccoons are intelligent, cautious, and known to peek from elevated positions, especially when observing humans. In low light and at a distance, their movements can look surprisingly unnatural. And of course, some believe it was nothing more than shadow, timing, and imagination. A trick of the light playing on a tired mind deep in the woods. But what keeps this clip alive is that nothing is ever clearly revealed. No follow-up, no confirmation, no explanation from the person filming. So what do you think it was? A folkloric creature like the duende? An ordinary animal caught at the wrong angle? Or something else entirely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you do that, we head to this group of New Zealand film students who decided to capture some footage near their school at Auckland's Parnell railway station in January 2015. It was a quiet afternoon, with the students laughing and taking random shots. Just another carefree day behind the camera. Among them was a student named Chris Meir, who was filming alongside his friends. For a while, it was all harmless fun, but then, something unusual caught their attention. Through the lens, Chris and his friends spotted two figures, a man and a woman, standing silently in the tall grass by the station. Their faces were concealed by eerie, emotionless white masks, and they stared ominously at the camera without moving. As unsettling as it looked, the students brushed it off, thinking, maybe it's just a prank. Classmates trying to scare us, perhaps? You can hear their nervous laughter in the footage as they tried to laugh away the growing unease. But the longer they watched, the stranger it got. The couple wasn't just standing there. They seemed armed. One of them held what appeared to be a pistol, clearly visible in the footage.
Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I don't see him.
When the masked strangers got uncomfortably close, Chris and his friends decided not to stick around. They bolted back toward the main road. Just as they reached safety, they noticed a police helicopter circling the area. It's unclear who called the cops that day, but research suggests this wasn't the first time the couple had harassed the public with their masks and potential weapons. Earlier that week, these masked figures had reportedly terrorized a woman at Auckland's Domain Park. She managed to escape, but by the time police arrived, the pair had vanished, leaving behind only questions and a lingering sense of dread. After Chris and his friends reported the incident, the Auckland Police Department took it seriously, even posting a warning on Facebook. They urged the public to avoid the masked couple and reminded everyone that if a weapon is seen, it should be treated as real. Then, in a surprising twist, the masked strangers came forward for questioning. But this only deepened the mystery. Despite a police investigation, little information was released. Officers told local media the weapons were likely fake, yet without official confirmation, doubts remained. To this day, no one truly knows who these people were or why they stalked random passers-by. Maybe it was just for a thrill, or maybe their intentions were far darker. And that brings us to the next clip, where once again, it's a passerby who changes everything. But this time, there are no witnesses. A man was hiking alone deep in the Appalachian Mountains, moving at a steady pace along a narrow, winding trail. The forest around him was quiet in the way only old places can be. Tall trees, dense undergrowth, and long stretches where the only sound was his own footsteps and the wind moving through the leaves. At one point along the trail, he noticed someone approaching from the opposite direction. It was an older man, elderly, walking calmly, as if he had been on that trail countless times before. There was nothing outwardly alarming about him. No urgency, no aggression, just a quiet presence moving through the woods. They didn't greet each other. They didn't even slow down. But as soon as they passed shoulder to shoulder, the old man spoke, not loudly, not dramatically, but clearly enough to be heard. Don't step off the trail. 4 simple words, no explanation, no warning of danger, just a statement, delivered as casually as a passing thought.
Don't step off the trail.
He turned around, expecting to see the old man continuing down the path behind him, expecting to maybe ask what he meant, or at least confirm that someone had actually been there. But the trail behind him was empty. There was nowhere the man could have gone. No side paths, no thick brush moving, no sound of footsteps fading away. Just the same silent forest stretching out in both directions. The old man had vanished. The moment stayed with the hiker long after the encounter ended. Not because of fear alone, but because of the timing, the message, and the certainty with which it was delivered. Don't step off the trail. Not be careful. Not watch your footing. Just don't leave the path. Some believe the old man was a guardian angel, appearing briefly to prevent something terrible from happening. A warning given at exactly the right moment, then gone. Others believe it was something tied to the land itself. A spirit of the forest. A presence that has watched over those mountains for generations, intervening only when someone comes too close to danger they can't see. And then there are those who think the encounter wasn't meant to be understood at all, only followed. Because in places like the Appalachian Mountains, the trail exists for a reason. Step off it, and you don't just risk getting lost. You risk crossing into something you weren't meant to find. So, what do you think happened here? Was it a guardian angel trying to protect him? A spirit of the forest offering a warning? Or something else entirely, hiding in plain sight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're letting me know, we head straight into this next clip, shared by TikTok user itstiffnai. The footage has been circulating widely online, and for good reason. What started as a quiet moment during a multi-day hiking trip quickly turned into something far more unsettling. At the time the video was recorded, she was standing beside a large rock formation deep in the wilderness. The area appeared calm. No movement, no sounds that suggested anything unusual. Just stone, shadow, and silence. At first glance, there was nothing that seemed out of place, but then she noticed something. Take a look. Nestled within a dark hollow in the rock formation, a shape began to stand out. Something that didn't quite look like stone. A face, partially obscured by shadow, appearing to stare back at her from inside the rocks. It wasn't moving. It wasn't obvious. But once you see it, it's hard to ignore. As you may have noticed, the shape has an eerily human-like quality. Deep-set darkness where eyes might be. A suggestion of a head. A presence that feels intentional rather than random. The clip itself offers no explanation, no zoom-in, no commentary, no follow-up. Just a brief moment that leaves the viewer unsettled. Because of that lack of context, speculation quickly took over. Some viewers believe it could have been a bear. Rock formations like this are known to shelter wildlife, especially during colder months or in remote hiking areas. Bears often use caves, crevices, or hollowed rock spaces as temporary dens. In low light, a bear's face, particularly the muzzle and eye sockets, can appear disturbingly human when partially hidden in shadow. Others were far less convinced. A number of people claimed the figure resembled the Babadook, a creature popularized by the horror film, but one that some believe draws inspiration from older folklore and shadow entity myths. Tall, dark, watching. While there's no evidence to support this beyond appearance alone, the resemblance was enough to fuel darker theories. More extreme interpretations suggested it could have been a ghostly apparition, a presence tied to the land itself. Rock formations, caves, and hollow spaces have long been associated with folklore, spirits, and liminal spaces where people claim the boundary between natural and supernatural feels thinner. And then there are the skeptics. Many argue it's simply pareidolia, the brain's tendency to recognize faces in random patterns. Shadows, angles, and lighting can easily turn an ordinary rock into something that looks alive, especially when viewed briefly and without movement. According to this view, there was nothing there at all, just stone and coincidence. What makes the clip so compelling is that the person who shared it has never confirmed what she saw. No explanation, no clarification, no follow-up video. She didn't say it was an animal. She didn't say it was a trick of the light. She didn't say it was nothing. And because of that, the question remains unanswered. Was it a bear quietly watching from its shelter? A shadow playing tricks on the mind? Or something else entirely, hidden just long enough to be seen, but never understood? What do you think was really lurking in those rocks? Let me know your theory in the comments below. Now, this next clip has been circulating online for years, and it continues to raise questions among everyone who sees it. The footage is believed to date back to the early 2000s and is said to have been discovered by a park ranger. There is no confirmed identity of the person filming, and no record of who they were or what happened to them afterward. Beyond the clip itself, no additional information has ever surfaced. Take a look. The video cuts off abruptly, and what's captured in those final moments is unsettling to say the least. The person filming appears to be running through a wooded area, breathing heavily, clearly trying to get away from whatever that was. The camera shakes as they move, suggesting panic rather than staging. The figure moves upright, in a way that resembles a human, but the behavior doesn't appear normal. The sounds heard in the background don't clearly match any known animal, and they don't sound like ordinary human speech either. Whatever is chasing the person seems fast and aggressive. Because the video ends so suddenly, there's no context for what happened next. And as expected, many theories emerged. Some viewers believe the figure could have been a feral individual, possibly someone living deep in the wilderness and avoiding contact with others. Others suggest it may have been a creature commonly associated with forest folklore, such as Bigfoot or Sasquatch, based on its movement and vocalizations. There are also skeptics who argue the clip could have been staged. However, no one has ever claimed responsibility for creating it, and no original source has been identified. To this day, the truth behind the footage remains unknown. And that lack of answers is what continues to make the video disturbing for many people who watch it. What do you think happened here? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that, we've come to this last clip, rooted in the same uneasy feeling of being alone in the woods. The clip comes from the YouTube channel Life is Superior. She documents life on long-distance trails, slow mornings in a tent, quiet miles through the woods, and the mental space that comes from walking day after day with nothing but what you can carry. Her content is grounded and reflective, focused less on spectacle, and more on what it actually feels like to live outdoors for weeks at a time. But during this stretch of her Appalachian Trail hike, that calm routine was interrupted. It was May 25th, 2023. The day began like many others. The morning air was cold but comfortable, the kind of chill that reminds you how well your gear worked overnight. She packed up, stepped back onto the trail, and started hiking alone, something she normally enjoys and often chooses deliberately. Not long into the hike, though, something felt wrong.
As I'm walking this morning, I keep hearing some kind of animal growling. And I don't know for sure that it's an animal growling, but as I was hiking, I thought I just wasn't thinking about it. And in my mind, I thought I heard like a car's engine revving. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, I'm in the middle of the woods. That's not a car. And then I heard the noise again and I was like, that sounds like growling. So I'm hearing it again right now. I feel a little intimidated by it. So I thought I would start this video and be talking so that whatever it is aware that I'm here. So, I don't know. Kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I'm definitely by myself right now.
A sound carried through the woods. At first, it didn't register as a threat. It almost sounded mechanical, like a distant engine revving. Then the realization set in. There were no roads, no cars. The noise returned, deeper this time, lower, closer to a growl than anything else. Alone on the trail, she listened carefully and scanned the trees. The sound came and went, never revealing its source. With nothing visible to confirm what she was hearing, her mind filled in the possibilities. She kept talking out loud, not for the camera, but as a precaution. A way to announce herself. A way to avoid startling whatever might be nearby. The forest suddenly felt closer, quieter, and far more aware of her presence.
So, it will be all right. Just kind of an eerie start to my day.
Now the fear didn't come from only panic. It came from context.
So I'm feeling a little better. But I thought I would give some context to why I got like kind of nervous and scared. Last night at camp, we camped right next to an old mine shaft. And we were kind of joking like, well, it's closed in. That's good. Because that would be like a perfect place for bears to hang out. So we were just joking about that and lighthearted fun. Then later, we went to hang up our bear line and food. And as we were walking around, we found another entrance to the mine, I assume, but it wasn't closed in. And we were kind of like, uh-oh, this could be a real, like, bear's den. Not sure. But at that point, like, there was nothing we could do. We weren't going to pack up camp. And we were hanging up our food and being responsible. But we were just kind of like, uh-oh, this could be, like, the real thing.
In bear country, abandoned mine shafts aren't just remnants of history. They can be shelter, potential dens. That thought followed her down the trail as the growling echoed through the morning woods. But about 25 minutes later, the sound stopped. No animal appeared. No tracks crossed the trail. And gradually, the tension eased. Still, the moment stayed with her. She explained that hiking alone rarely scares her. She often spaces herself behind others intentionally to enjoy the silence. But this was the most nervous she had felt on the entire trip so far. For a while, she sang every song she could think of, filling the forest with sound, choosing presence over fear. The rest of the day brought different challenges. Flooded sections of trail caused by beaver activity, slick mud, balancing across logs, deep patches that could have swallowed a trekking pole whole. These were visible dangers, manageable ones, the kind you can move through with patience and care. And she did. But it was that unseen moment in the morning that lingered the longest. Because on trails like the Appalachian, danger doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's just a sound without a shape, a feeling you can't fully explain. And when you're alone in the woods, that uncertainty can be just as unsettling as anything you can see. Now that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed these horrifying clips, click to see more on the video on screen.